again, so this project, before I start, this project is sponsored by Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. And it is through 1,000 Cranes of Recovery, we all have this amazing opportunity to work with you all. So again, my name is JR Gould. So welcome to Storytelling Theater's Red Door performance / workshop / mental health stuff. So yeah, so you know what, in fact, before we begin, I always like to do a little warm-up exercise. So I'm going to invite you all. I know some of you start eating, which is okay, because I'm going to be very rude and disrupt your eating right now. So I'm going to invite you, if you can, please point out your right index finger. And please start drawing circles. Easy peasy, right? Especially if you are right-handed, super easy. Thank you. Please put down your right hand. And please point out your left index finger. And please start drawing squares. A little bit more challenging if you are not left-handed, but very doable. Right? Thank you. Now point out both your fingers. Yeah, let's do it. Start drawing circles with your right and squares with your right. Thank you. And if you really want to challenge yourself, reverse. Circle, no. Thank you. So very fast, tell me what was that like? Just throw out words.
Hard, difficult.
Hard, difficult, thank you.
Frustrating,
thank you.
challenging,
Thank you.
confusing,
Huh?
confusing,
Confusing, thank you. What else? Huh?
maddening,
What else? Some of you were laughing, smiling. Could it be fun? Could it be fun? Funny? Challenging? Could it be silly?
Well, uncoordinated.
Do you remind of you when you were in kindergarten? I have done this exercise so many times. I've done it like in a corporate setting, like everyone was wearing business suit, and everyone just look at me like, what the hell's going on? I thought this is a professional training, not in kindergarten or elementary school. But anyway, one of the purposes of this exercise is that the right circle. Let's use right-handed example. If you're right-handed, this means your comfort zone. This means what you know. This is our cultural programming. Right? Left hand, the squares, represent this comfort zone, outside your comfort zone. So, this is a saying I love. I learned a number of years ago. It's that whenever we learn new stuff, whenever we talk about hard and important issues, such as racism, sexism, mental health, homophobia, or whenever we learn new sport, rock climbing, new arts, you name it, right? Discomfort is required. But suffering is optional. Suffering is optional. So for today, for next an hour, 15 minutes, the workshop, the performance, what you will see is that there's certain things that you're very familiar with. You say, I know that. I know this. But you might see and experience something that might be a little bit foreign to you, that you're not that familiar with, that might, quote unquote, trigger some feeling, some reaction. And that feeling can be a little bit uncomfortable, which is okay, which is normal, part of our growth. So I wanted to encourage you all, when that happens for next an hour and 15 minutes, just have fun, right? All of you are laughing, we're silly, right? Just have fun and use this as an opportunity to continue to grow and learn more about ourselves. That sound good? Awesome. So, all right. So here's a little bit background about storytelling theater. So, I've been telling Naomi this for years now. So I've been doing this type of work for a long time. And so it's based on Augusta Bauer's Theater for the Oppressed. Literally, it's activism. We use theater in the community for social change. So political change, social change, talking about activism, racism, sexism, and homophobia. And for years now, I want to do this in our communities, in Asian American communities. And I want to use this type of theater tool to talk about mental health. I still remember when I started suggesting this idea 5, 7, 8 years ago, people just look at me like, I'm like, oh my goodness, am I taking too many drugs? Because we know that our communities, right, mental health is like, ooh, we don't want to touch that, that's one. And second is that especially if you are closer to the immigrant generations, right, we don't really open up and talk. So very fortunate that through Naomi support 1,000 Credits for Recovery in Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, they said, let's do it, let's try it, let's do it. So the reason it's called storytelling is that we know the power of stories. But just imagine if you can see the story in front of you, right? Which we'll do that soon. So the power of storytelling. So now we're going to do an exercise, a very fast exercise. I'm going to ask all of you to pair up with someone that you kind of don't know. But it's okay if you talk to someone that you know. It's okay. But I want, the challenge is this. I want you to share something a little bit about you that you rarely share with anyone. I'm not talking about your criminal thing that you did 20 years ago. I don't want to know. TMI, too much blood. No, something just little bit. Let me give you one example. Something like that I don't really share publicly, even not with my friends. I love reading science fantasy books. Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, right? I read it all when I was young. But I paused for 10, 20 years when I was building my career. And these few years, I started reading these science fantasy books. In fact, in my phone, I have 5 different science fantasy books about dragons, about wizards, about magic, right? I don't know why, it's part of me, I just don't like to share about that. I just feel kind of weird. So there's something that I just kind of, I publicly just share with you all. So please pair with someone, share something very small, and you'll only have a minute or two each side. Go.